What's up, everybody? Welcome to the damn podcast. I am Epic Money. I'm joined by my two best friends in the whole world.
In person.
In person.
Yeah.
How cool is this?
We'll do it live.
That's right. We're going to do it live. Fucking we'll do it live. So
We'll do it live.
that's right. We'll do it live. That's
Even
it.
though we're in person and you still are in a different box.
I'm in a
than
different
us.
box. I'm right
can
here.
see real
Hey.
Zandvort.
We're really in the same place, I promise. There was some slight issues. Obviously, this is kind of like a thrown together thing. We were like, you know what would be cool is if we did this podcast live. And I was like, yeah, let's start drinking. and then it became...
I found the wine.
Yeah, David found the wine that's been in my fridge. So rest in peace to my ex-wife, of course. Thanks for drinking that. God rest her soul, right? We've run that one before, too, in case you're wondering. Austin, we've run that one. So we just got back. We went to Pop-Up Chicken Shop. If you haven't been there before and you're in the Bloomington area, definitely check it out. So we did that. So, again, I'll introduce the group. Obviously, David and Austin, you guys know them by now. I'm also supposed to introduce our drinks according to our outlines.
Oh, yeah.
So David, you want to show off the wares?
Yeah, I'm rocking a nice St. James Winery, 1970. Good year for this wine.
Good
I'll tell you
year.
that.
Good
This
year.
is, I think this goes for about $12.99 a bottle. Okay,
Yeah.
and you can find that at any Kroger or Schnucks in your local area.
We spared no expense. Now, if you're familiar with the other night when I did the cool down room, we actually have, Austin and I have matching Mission Barbecue glasses. Shout out to Mission Barbecue. I'm also using the Dominican Republic pour stirrer again.
It's a must.
It's definitely a must. And then so a little backstory on the Pop-Up Chicken Shop. We're like ordering drinks. David orders a Dr. Pepper. Okay.
23 flavors.
So David orders Dr. Pepper.
So sweet,
I get my usual Tito's and water with a lime wedge. Okay. And then this adult over here orders a double shot of whiskey.
He
right?
didn't have
That's-
that beard
yeah.
when we walked in there.
No, I grew it after 2 double shots.
2 double shots of whiskey. So we decided to continue. We're actually on cognac here, I believe is the official term for Douce. So Real is drinking Douce on the rocks.
Yep.
And I'm a pussy. I'm drinking Douce with some Coca-Cola Classic in here. And we're going to have a good time, hang out with you guys. If you got any questions, hopefully pop them in Discord. Pop them here in the stream chat. I have the chat open in front of me. And we all have our cell phones, of course, because we're children. So that's that.
Keep an eye and see if anybody says anything.
There's also some Easter eggs in the room. So if you see Real's neck, he has got on one of the badges that I made for him for the Las Vegas Grand Prix. So if you came to... I think I actually have them right here, too. Let me snag one real quick. So I actually have these. And I have... This one says Nick Passy Passarella. So I'm going to hold it up to the screen. It may or may not focus. That actually looks pretty good up there, doesn't it? So let me go.
Yeah.
So I made these...
Why is there an upside-down pig on there?
That's the track. It looks great, huh? So that I made these little name tags, pit passes, if you will, for paddock passes for everybody that came to the race. That was a really fun time. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to see Real to give him his, but now
Here we
he's
are.
part of the club.
Here we
This
are.
is the first time you guys have ever hung out in person.
Yeah, it sure is. It sure is. Aside from when we were on the private jet, when we were in Los Toros, you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, some people were very confused by that.
It's very confused. Actually, you want to share a story about what your grandma had to say to you?
Yeah. So today I'm helping my grandma move some stuff, and she looks at me with the straightest face and says, "Austin, are you a race car driver?"
You're like, yeah, Grandma.
Yeah, obviously.
You never heard of Ferrari?
Like,
Or
why do you think I've been
Williams
gone
or-
all the damn time?
Yeah, hello. So pretty funny stuff. I always post those updates on my social medias, and the Facebook one. They're always so funny.
Yeah.
I was scrolling through. There's like pictures of me and you just with faces like in Rome or some shit. We're at the Coliseum, and I'm like, why did we think this was a good idea at the time?
So funny.
But so there's that Easter egg, and then I broke out this one since Real's here too. So if anyone, this is some lore, guys. And if you don't know, if you go to General Resources in the Discord, you can see all the SNS F1 League lore. This bad boy right here.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
That is killer. Probably, I'd say undoubtedly the best livery ever created in our thing. Even better than maybe some of the real ones.
Yeah, it's not a Hornet, but
So
yeah,
this
it's
one's
all right.
the Hornet. It's not the bug spray guys, whatever the fuck that
Dude,
was.
that was Velo.
Yeah, Velox.
Velo like yellow.
Careful now.
Hard some feelings with that one. Hi, Paulie. Good to see you. I hope you're enjoying your
European
weekend.
vacation.
Yeah, your European self. He's probably pissed at the testing session and all that stuff. He's probably like, yeah, I can't believe it. So and that was Real made that noise too. All right, cool. So we're gonna get into the meat and taters of the podcast like we usually do, guys. It's gonna be a little bit different. Obviously, I'm looking at a bunch of screen. I'm in my rig. These boys are right here next to me. You can see my hand high. It looks kind of funny on the stream if you look up there.
Yeah, it looks good.
It looks like I have take my strong hand. That's kind of what it looks like over there. So anyways, my computer screen's there. We have a heads-up display here, and then I have some stuff on my rig screen as well. So
this is going great.
It's totally fine. This is great.
We should start recording soon.
Oh, shit.
We'll just edit it out.
Yeah, we'll just edit it. I've heard that before. Where'd that come from? Anyways.
You sound confident.
Anyways. So I'll recap the standings again. So driver standings again. Spees looking good at 102 points, but within striking distance is our stats guy Matthew Painter. David, you're only a point behind Painter, which is pretty cool. It's actually really reminiscent of the actual F1 season from last year.
Haas in third.
Yeah, definitely that. Where like one driver's kind of like obviously is leading, but then the middle is just like stuck there.
You put tape over Spees, and you have like a very interesting season to follow.
Yeah, for sure. So it's like Spees at 102, Painter's at 72, you're at 71, Barrett's at 69, nice. Keaton's at 68, which is crazy. Again, 5 points separates those guys, 4 points. Tyler's at 39, Pete's at 33, Richard's at 30, I'm at 23, and then Doug's down there at 9. Still in there.
Oh, he is still at 10th. Okay,
that's
I thought
10th place.
He jumped to 10th, but it looks like he was.
Yeah, he's still even. So that's 10th place there.
Good.
So yeah, all the guys that are battling for like the middle there. It's a long season. We're not even halfway through, right?
Yeah.
So we're getting there, but again, fortunes change. We've seen it 100 times. Stuff happens. So cool. We'll talk about the season standings. Now this one really looks like the actual F1.
Yeah.
So Red Bull, Alfa Romeo is in first at 170 points. Aston Martin, the defending champs, at 81 points. But I mean, being that far behind is crazy.
Yeah.
Alpine at 74. Great job, Paulie, for those 74 points. I'm sure they're all yours. 71 for 40 points for McLaren, which I think I chose to be the preseason favorites for me.
They are kind of. I mean, they started out really slow, and they're in the mix now.
Yeah, doing good. So 40 points, 39 points for Mercedes, 36 for Williams, 33 for us. So again, like those teams,
super close.
So the second port, I'd say like the A tier teams are within 10 points of each other.
Yep.
And then the B tier teams were within 7 points of each other.
Yeah.
And then the bottom teams, they're in 1 point of each other, which is crazy.
Close.
I mean, so we're in 3 tiers essentially at this point, which I kind of figured it'd be like that. Maybe not that tight, but
it's good. You're crazy.
The parity's good.
You're crazy if you don't think you have something to race for. Like everybody's close to somebody. You could. A lot of these guys could move up 3 or 4 spots realistically. I mean, it's crazy. And obviously the 1 point now for AlphaTauri is huge. Passy got his first point. That was sick.
Yeah.
We were hanging out after the race, just in the post-race talking. And I think, you kind of sit there and think about how your race went and stuff like that. And then every once in a while, I'd be like, oh, yeah, and Passy got a point. And everybody'd be like, sick, dude.
It's huge.
It's cool. It's cool to see guys get their first point and stuff for the season.
For sure, it's massive. I mean, it's literally the separation between retaining your team or losing your team, right?
Yeah.
It is actually a massive point. I see somebody posted in the damn podcast, so I'll check that out in a minute. But the standings, again, they're all just kind of all over the place for now. We'll see where that logjam ends up. How are you feeling about your chances? You feeling good? Can you catch you think you can catch the A-tier teams?
Probably not, but
I think it's closer than what people think, though.
Yeah.
It comes down to for me, I think I'm capable of having some good finishes. So if I'm able to do that, Richard can pull away with some good finishes too. Like I have no doubt that we should at least surpass McLaren, and we could maybe get pushed up in there with those top tier teams. But,
for sure.
But yeah, I mean, it's so close, and it just comes. Yeah.
Well, realistically, I mean, to call a spade, the bottom 2 teams in that tier, Alpine and Haas, is really pretty much one driver. So McLaren, Williams, those are 2 teams that's those are 2 drivers versus 1.
Yeah,
it could be, you could make big ground up quick.
I'm with you. That's kind of what I feel. I feel like and Cam ran a great race. He helped me out a ton in quali. Obviously, he helped me get on pole position, and Cam's going to get better. I think he's close to the brink of points, but it's not top 8-ish, which is probably what we need in order to catch McLaren, to catch you guys, because again, you guys are going to score a bunch of points because Richard's right there with me, and then you're sniffing us.
I pretty well have essentially missed the last 3 races.
Right.
I mean, if you include all the crap that happened in Australia. So I mean, those are 3 tracks that we could have easily had double points at, and then it's a different story for us.
Sure.
So yeah.
Do me a favor, click off of the thing and click the damn podcast that's highlighted. Let's see if
It's
anyone
me.
posted. Oh, it's you.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
I'm watching it.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, the standings really tight. It's gonna be a fun battle to the end, I think. There. All right. Let me grab my cell phone. Now I want to talk about the over unders. So that is these ones. Yeah. So I'm gonna read these off here. So, how many safety cars this evening? I said it at 1.5. We certainly exceeded that. I believe there was 5. It was either 4 or 5.
I think it was 4.
Could be 4. So we had 4 safety cars. So that was over, which we all hit on. How many teams scored double points? I actually don't know the answer to that. Do you know? Can you grab go to previous race VODs right down below, right up a little bit? Up, 2 more, bang. And then there's the photo right there. So you click open and browse. No, click it again. And just left click it. I'm walking David through some grandma stuff. Down a little bit on the left, just open and browse. There you go. So that's it right there. So let's see. So Alfa Romeo was 1st and 4th. Aston Martin
Alpine
did not.
Yeah,
Alpine scored double points. That's pretty crazy. So it's 2. Not Williams, not Mercedes, not Ferrari, not Haas.
That's it.
All right, so 2 teams.
2 teams.
And I said it at 2.5. So and we
Good line.
looks like we took the under on the. I said at 3.5 actually. So we went. People went under. Combined. Leave that up for me for 1 second. So combined points for Aston Martin and Alfa Romeo.
Oh, didn't you have that line at like 50 something?
It's at 53.5 points. So what do we get to? 25.
So 25. It's 18.
So 30 because of Keaton. So 30 plus 25 is 55.
Yep.
So they've already exceeded it.
Yep.
With those 3. Actually, that's the full number, isn't it?
Yep. That's it.
So 55.
Yep.
And I said at 53.5.
That's perfect.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, so that's pretty nuts.
Vegas always wins.
Yeah.
Always, the
Every
fucking
time.
house always wins. They know something. They always know something.
They know.
So very good. Total number of DNFs 2.5. We way exceeded that. I think it was like 5-ish, or maybe even less.
Go to the next.
Yeah, because I noticed.
Oh, it's actually 4 then.
1, 2,
Yeah, I think it's 4.
3.
4
Okay, either way, we exceeded it, so that's that. League record for fastest lap
was not broken.
was not broke, which is insane to me.
You know, but I wonder. Oh, you know what I think is that the last time we ran Zandvort was on the last video game.
Okay.
And so then it's like you never know. Like the games are definitely you're going to run a little bit different. So I think we were on 22 instead of 23 when we ran that.
Makes sense. Okay. Good. Can Paulie score another point tonight? 10 people voted yes. So Paulie did score a point, of course, at least. Your parlay.
Which good on him, too, because that's 2 straight races getting points after not getting any. That's really good. And he finished right in front of me, and we had a very, very good drive at the end.
He was a David and Matt sandwich, actually, yeah. So.
It was a very good drive at the end. Yeah, it was fun.
Cool. Damn podcast parlay. So will this pay out? Barrett on the podium.
Jordan fucked me. So
Jordan fucked you.
Because didn't Barrett get on the podium?
Barrett was 3rd, right?
Barrett was on the podium.
Yeah.
And then who was it to get
Passy.
a point? Passy got a point.
Oh,
First,
you would have hit huge.
Would have hit huge.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Literally, fucking Jordan kept me from paying my mortgage.
Just needed Jordan to get a point?
Yeah, the
Thanks.
odds were insane.
We'll send the bill directly to your
Fucking
fucking house,
piece
by
of
the way.
shit,
Thanks
dude.
for that.
Insane, dude.
Oh,
Nuts.
beating AI. That's great, dude.
Mercedes, who finishes higher, Jordan or Tyler?
Tyler.
Tyler
I
finished
did
second.
vote for Jordan on that just because I was hoping Tyler would just like
Just
spend.
trying to fire him up.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
Yeah.
We
Get your
talked
head-
about it.
Get your head in the game.
We talked about it in the executive suite. I said, man, should I do this one just to be funny and fire
Yeah.
Tyler up? And
Yep.
fuck yeah, let's do that. So
Yep.
some of those are just funny ones to try and fire people up because that's what I'm all about. We just talked about that at dinner.
Yep.
How I like getting under people's skin just enough to where they're like, what Richard said, like I practice solely because of you. That makes
Yeah,
my
that's awesome.
fucking that makes my pee-pee go crazy, dude. That's
Mine
awesome.
too.
Well, because like we said, it's what it comes down to, honestly, is just that you want everybody at their best. Like, obviously, we all have other things we're going to focus on, and it's not just going to be racing all the time. Like, I get
Yeah.
that, but it's like, I think you had said this at dinner, is like, if you do win a race or you get a podium or you get your best finish, you don't want it to be because it's like, well, 12 guys showed up for that
Yeah.
race. One guy didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, just stuff like that. Like,
Don't want it to be cheap.
To get a win with
Yeah.
get a win with 18 guys that are like, I want to fucking beat you.
Yeah.
That's what makes
Yeah,
it
man.
fun.
I don't want. If I'm lucky, is that Hayden's thing? Most young guy. No, that's Painters. Actually, that's Painters, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bunch of slow drivers on this pod. You're right.
Dude, nothing beat. Hold on, I have to say something because he said that. We're sitting over at Spees' house last week, and it's me, Painter, Keaton, and Spees sitting in the room, and I'm pretty blasted at this point. And I'm like, I go, man, it's crazy when you think about the league. I mean, in this room, who would technically be in last place in this room? And it was Painter still at the time.
Oh, that's funny.
And but that's kind of another aspect of that is like me and Painter really like to give each other a hard time. We like to practice together a lot too. And so that definitely, I mean, I talk shit to him because it pushes him a little bit, and then him giving that back to me makes me want to try harder, and it just makes it more fun.
For sure. And then the last one was. Sorry, the Mercedes one. Who finishes higher, Cam or Troy? And to use the team logo. And I think Cam finished higher. Cam finished where? Do you have that up?
Then higher than Troy?
Yeah,
I believe he did.
That. I think he was like down a little previous race. Yep. There you go. I think Cam was like 13th or something. Jesus. You figured out one of these days.
Cam, Troy 18th.
Yeah, Cam was 13th.
Yeah, because Troy DNF. And 13th, now I know like he was a little bit kind of just like staying on track and stuff like that because he's brand new, but him finishing 13th, Austin finishing 14th, new Austin, not real, Brett finishing 12th, and I was looking at some of the finishes this weekend. A lot of us have been kind of just like, obviously Hayden hasn't got any points yet. Hayden's got 11th like twice, 13th another time. Like
so
there are guys, there are really a lot more guys than what we give credit to that are on the edge of getting those points when we have races like that.
I think something else that's kind of underlooked on this too is like, I know Pete had an incident this week, but there hasn't been like the big one from people that are like racing like at the top of the field, right? Like there was always like a Francois and Tyler thing. There was always like some shit that happened with the faster guys, and now we're either like mad clean, or we figured out something. I don't know. We figured out something where those guys don't take chances like that. I don't know.
I was thinking about this the other day. Think about like it was a huge deal that Doug, I think, only had one DNF last year.
Yeah.
And when you think about it, all the top guys, like, nobody's had a DNF yet. Like, this was the first race, and I took a lot of it, but this was the first race I took any wing damage in.
Yeah.
And it's like, every other year, you're just like, just finish the race.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of that is partially because of the length of the race, too.
Yeah.
That's true. I don't know. It could be part of that. We'll find out, right? We're gonna run a full length eventually here, and we'll see kind of how that goes. So cool. All right, what's next? So minimize that top one real quick. I just want to see. There we go. Okay, good. Did you want to talk about the average finishes thing?
Yeah. I did some. I'll pull this up here so I don't have to stare at my phone.
I think it became a thing of like. You said something to me about like.
Well, you mentioned your qualifying,
and I was like, man, my qualifying's been so good this year. I said I bet you I'm the fastest qualifier on the grid.
Yeah.
And then the stats will show, which you'll talk about what the actual results are.
So this is cool. So I just went through. We are 5 races into the season. So I went through and grabbed everybody's results from qualifying and the race to see where everybody's average finishes are. And a few stuck out. So for qualifying. Top average position in qualifying has been mine with 2.8. I've had 2 pole positions, so obviously that was huge. Next are Matt and Pete tied at 3.4, Spees at 5.2, Painter at 5.4, and then it drops down into the 6s. I thought it was kind of interesting whenever you get to the bottom and kind of, I guess, that group that's like middle to bottom is where those match up where the race finishes kind of go together. So I'll share with you kind of some of the bigger gaps. So I finished at 2.8 for qualifying, but then my race finish is at 4.6. So I go from from best to 5th best in the overall standings there. Spees, his qualifying is like 5th best, but he's the best finisher at 2.2, which is insane. Keaton, his teammate, right behind him at 4. And then Painter and Baird are both at 4.2. I'm at 4.6. And then there's that gap down to Tyler at 6.8. So Keaton, if you look at it, his average qualifying position, 8.2 puts him 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, like 8th or 9th.
Yeah. And
he's 2nd in race finish. So it's like, goes to show you that racecraft that we always talk about and just him being able to finish races. A funny one is Jordan, no matter what finishes 17th, whether he
flat.
whether he finishes or like he has taken 17th in every and whether he qualified, like I think he qualified like 11th or something like that, and then he took 17th again in the last race. That's just funny. Crazy. Yeah, that's
funny.
What do we got from Matthew over there?
Painter says, "Call me crazy, but the reason we don't have and I can't read it all because it's like squished, but I think it says we don't have a bunch of DNFs is because the grid's getting faster." So if you just put the mouse over here, or just drag, make this a little bit bigger for me. Like drag it, just grab the edge. Yep, and just scroll. There we go.
There we go.
Call me crazy, but the reason we don't have a lot of top end damage or DNF is because of the grid getting faster, not mixing up with the mid pack guys at all, which is probably a little bit fair.
Yeah, I mean, I took a bunch of wing damage this week, and it was because every safety car I had to go to like 12th or 13th or whatever. So it does make sense, and I think that with, to Matthew's point here, is that with the talent on our grid, we know that we can. I think one, we know how to drive around each other a little bit more, and then two, we know how to react to things a little bit faster when they happen. And I know we've had a ton of instances. This is the worst track to talk about it after, but we definitely have had some instances. But when you compare it to what we would have had in Season 3, Season 4, like, there's no doubt that we're getting better. It's like when we all bitch about F123, but then it's like if you try to put me on F122, I'd be like, F123 is amazing. Yeah. That's us. Like, I feel like we are getting a lot better, and it's just not being recognized.
Did you think that shortening the length of races would have caused more damage, though? Like, people would have taken more risks?
Pushing it more?
I mean, that's kind of how I feel. I mean, you look at just like the sprint races and shit that we do. Obviously, people really push it hard. So I would think with the shorter races, you would see more of it.
But do you think that people are taking it easy though, because it's like, if I fucking wreck, I'm done. It like, I mean, I took wing damage and I was like, sword, okay, right? I'm going for 6th or 7th. Like,
I think it's double edged. I think, I don't know. That's a good question. I never thought of it that way. Yeah, it's tough. I certainly thought before the season started, I was like, well, it's going to get fucking stupid because people are going to do crazy shit, because I know, and you can definitely relate to this, when I was running, it's like, we're like 18 laps in the race or so. We're halfway done, okay? I'm in first place, and I'm just like the race is over. Like, I don't need to do anything else crazy, and like it just ends so fast. Yeah. Like before I look up, we're 10 laps in the race, and I'm like, oh fuck, there's only 20 left. You know, like if you double that length like we would in a full length race, it's like I'm gonna like bide my time and hang out. Maybe my strategies are different too.
At the same time, what does a full length race look like if we have 4 fucking safety cars in the first 50%?
It's the other thing too is like maybe that stuff doesn't happen. I don't know. You never know, because maybe faster tires also don't do a lot of help to a lot of people.
Well, and the tires dying off like crazy. That's a big part too. Is like if you're on softs and you're 10 laps in, your softs are done. Where you can run softs for 22 laps on full. And
I know. I specifically started on hards in this race, and I knew I was going to be like one of the only ones at the top of the grid doing that, but that was a risk I was going to take because I knew people's tires were going to die off. I knew we were going to have safety cars, and I was going to extend.
I've been meaning to talk to you about this. I don't think I like your starting on hards from first.
No?
Because this is my thought with it, and this is free information we're giving away right now, and this is sponsored by St. James Winery.
God bless.
So this is my thought with starting on hards is absolute best case scenario is that you hold off the people behind you, which is what happened in this race, is that you hold off the people behind you and you're on hards and they're on mediums. But what we've learned from this game is that the undercut's better than the overcut.
Yeah.
So even though you're going to be on mediums later, so this is what I'm thinking is, so best case scenario, you, like, everybody's pitting off their mediums while you're staying out there, and you're like 3 to 5 seconds ahead of them maybe because they've been on mediums and you've been on hards. Like, that's best case scenario.
Yeah.
So you have like 3 seconds on them. Then they undercut, which is going to put them, like, they're going to pit, you're going to run a few more on those hards, which is good, and you're going to overcut. And then you're going to come out on mediums, which are going to be faster than their hards, but you're still coming out in traffic because they undercut you. So you're probably, it's not bad, but I mean, you're probably still going 3rd to 5th. And then what the biggest problem is, and why you'll see me almost always start on mediums, is if you're so much more stuck on hards. Because if there's a safety car 12 laps in, you can't get to the end
Yeah.
on anything because you have to go to hards.
Yeah, that did screw me because I thought our incidents would be early.
Yeah.
I certainly didn't think we'd have 4 safety cars.
Yeah, I mean, then it's like everything goes out the window.
It's all shit at that
Yeah.
point. I thought we'd have 2. It's kind of I thought we'd have a really early one.
Yep.
And I was like, cool, that'll extend my hards.
Yeah.
3 more laps, so I'll go from like 16 to 19. And I thought myself, like, when we have that middle one at like lap 16, like I'll jump on mediums and I'll be good to go.
Yep.
And then it happened like on like lap 4. I posted, it's in there somewhere. I posted like lap 14 happens, and then also happens like lap 20
Yeah.
or 21, and I'm like, well, now I'm in fucking no man's land.
Yep.
And you obviously don't want to be there. Like some people switch to softs. The 3 people that were top 3 switched to softs, so
Yep.
obviously it's the right thing.
Yep.
But I told myself, like, I'm just going to stay out on these because I was at 12% on mediums.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm giving up first place to get on softs at that point.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's good. Cool. So we talked more about Zandvort than I thought we'd talk
Yeah,
about. Really.
that was fun. Yeah, that was good.
So that's good. Let's see. So let's go to Austria. We've only been live 25 minutes. It's really not bad for a bunch of drunk
Yeah,
idiots.
but down half this wine.
Yeah, not a big deal. No big deal. So Austria's coming up. Did you want to talk about the results from last season, or did you not? Or 2 seasons ago, I guess.
Top 3. Top 3 was Keaton won. Richard took second, and Tyler took third.
That was back in our custom liveries too, right?
I said Richard took second, and Matt was like, "God damn it, I have to practice."
I literally, you could probably feel the anguish in my voice, because
we're also not huge fans of this track.
I'm not a fan of Austria.
It's a go-kart track.
It is very much so. It is Monza in a different country to me.
Talk a little bit about the margins.
What I talked about? Yeah.
I think that's very good for like the newer people.
This motherfucker. Richard says I'm ass at Austria. Get
he just took second.
Stop money
He's
dicking.
getting ass in Austria.
Yeah, Richard's getting second again, dude. He's the king of second place.
You mean Australia. That's fine. It's a different country.
For the new guys, I think the new guys, this kind of just gives you some perspective of what we think going into these different tracks, like how big of a difference the track makes.
Yeah, so I talked about it at dinner a bunch. So the reason I like the more technical tracks, I guess you'll call them, like Baku, Jeddah. Not really Monaco, but Monaco's a great example of that, right?
Yeah.
There are so many margins where, and this sounds like, it's going to sound one kind of way and I don't really care, but like people that are worse than you have way more chances to fuck stuff up.
Yep.
That's just how it is. Like they're going to mess up turns. There's tighter turns. There's harder turns. A track like Monza, there's like maybe one turn that's difficult.
Yep.
Maybe. There's like,
I mean, you just at Austria, you just need to get like the hairpin at the second.
There's one, maybe
two.
A
little bit of sector 3 if
right.
you can get through it. Like I think manual's kind of helpful, but again, you're talking a tenth maybe.
There's small margins, a lot of straight lines.
Yep.
It's a lot of wide turns that aren't like too much.
You still have the space to make up time.
Yes.
If something happens, there's not like I can nail. This is actually free information, again, sponsored by the winery. Something I really like to do is a lot of times on tracks, the most important turn of the track is the first one, because a lot of times the first, like think about Jeddah, that first chicane, huge. Australia, that first chicane, very big. So something I really like to do is when I'm in time trial, I will restart my lap. So this is, all right, I'm giving away real information here.
Here you go.
So
take notes.
Something I like to do is, because I know the first turn is so important, is I will run the first turn, and if I don't beat my time through the first turn, or at least like within a tenth, I restart and just run that. And essentially what I do is, if I beat my time, then I earn the right to run the rest of the track. And so I'll grind the shit out of the first turn, because it's like, even if I'm not the fastest, if I can consistently take this turn well the entire race, I'm at least saving myself time there. But Austria, it's like, if you take that first turn perfect and somebody totally fucks it, it's like 3 tenths, 2 tenths. I mean, it's not even...
Yeah, it's a real crapshoot. I feel that way in a lot of those tracks like that. Like even like, not Coda really, but like some of those tracks, man, you just know, like, if you cook a turn, you're like, it's all right. I'm still within 2 tenths of somebody. It's okay.
Yeah.
But like, you do that shit, like, if you fuck up the turns where we just were in Zandvort, you're fried.
Yeah, any of the flowy tracks where it messes
China,
up your
Japan,
next turn,
you're fried.
That's the biggest thing. Like, I think with Austria, it's like you take a turn, and then you have your long straight. And then you take a turn. And yes, if you fuck a turn, like, it screws you for that straight. But if you take the next turn smooth because you're going slow, you're getting that time right back.
I think that's my big thing is, like, they're connected.
Yes.
Like, the turns are connected. And even
Portugal, holy cow.
Portugal's crazy. We just talked about one of the things I think you might have said is, like, God, this DRS zone, the second one in Zandvort is worthless. And it's because it's 2 feet.
Yeah.
It's the second longest straightaway in the track, but it's the fucking joke because it's turn, straight, and then a chicane, and then a turn and a turn.
If anything, you're just making the next turn harder because
that's
you're flying in.
Yeah, that's all you do. So cool. So yeah, that's kind of what I talk about when the margins of these tracks is like, there's a lot more recipe for disaster at tracks like Monza, at tracks like Austria, like Red Bull Ring, because everyone's so grouped together. There's not as much spacing because there just can't be because of that. The good news is the track's a little bit more spaced out, like the walls. So opportunity to run into walls is lower, but opportunity to running into each other is more because the grouping is going to be a lot tighter.
Well, yeah, and we always talk about this, but I think we do better sometimes at tracks where, like, we kind of laugh because we'll be coming up to a tougher track, and I'll be in the Discord and I'll be like, this track's really tough, I hope we focus, and it's like, oh, he says this every week, but I think that at least gets people to be like, I need to be thinking about that.
Yeah.
Where you go into a Monza or an Austria, and it's immediately like, everybody's like, oh, dude, I can pull 105.9 here, I'm going to just rip it the entire time.
Yeah. There's everybody's a speed demon, so. Cool. So sprint race. How do you feel about sprint races?
Dude, it's a nightmare.
I don't like the one-shot quali, but I love the sprint.
It's fun, but it's so fucking wild.
I'm gonna go look and
I don't know. I mean, it's a lot of fun. It's just like, I guess my driving type is I'm a lot more conservative than aggressive, and I have to be more aggressive in the sprint race.
Yeah, I think
everybody is.
I think we kind of learned that from the first one, right? It's like you gotta like.
I didn't really see many people in the first one.
I don't remember it. That was my worst. By the way. The reason my average finishes less than David's because the one-shot quality, I think I got 8th. And, if you remove that, remove our worst, I'm probably doing okay. But the one-shot quality sucks. I'm gonna find everybody who voted no for short quality on these, and I'm gonna send you all fucking DMs for being pussies because I cannot believe that we decided that it was a good idea to keep one-shot quality. I for the extra 12 minutes it costs us to run a one-shot or a short quality, like. It is so worth it to me to run that. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I love short quality.
I do like short quality a lot more than one shot. I don't mind, like, especially because we're doing it for 2 races. Like for the 2 sprints, I'm kind of like, it is what it is. And at the point that we voted on it, we had already ran one of them, so it's like it's one race, and it's just something a little bit different. I do think doing the short quality all the time is fun, and especially like with how close we all are. The short qualities have been like, because we always talk about, and this is a common thing, but especially for the new guys, like I know Jordan in the group, I think he's going to watch Formula 1 with us this year.
So sick.
It's very common for the qualifying to be more exciting than the race, because the qualifying always comes down that last second, everybody's flying through, and that's kind of like this. I didn't think we would have that as much as we do, but we do. I mean, you finish and you're like, everybody's just clicking into different spots, and you're like, holy shit.
You know an experiment I want to do at some point this season, and hopefully we can get 20 guys to do it? I want to run a full qualifying session, like F1 style, and see like how much fun that is.
Oh, I bet
and I think what we'll do is, and I'll do it because I'm a nutcase with the stats, and we all kind of are, right?
Hashtag stats guy.
Hashtag stats guy. Hey, I'll go find the track where maybe like the margins were the tightest throughout the whole grid, right? So that like
there's some drama, excitement.
Right. So the people that are getting eliminated aren't like, well, fuck, there's no way I'm going to make it for this, like. But there's always something to race for, because if you're that person that gets 15th in fucking Q1, you're like, yes, dude, like I'm in. I passed all these motherfuckers. That's sick, dude. So there's always something to go for. Like, you're running hard fucking laps. You can work with. If I had a slower teammate, right? Like if I had Will as my teammate, a slower person than me, right? And
he's 6.
Yeah. Anyways, if he was like I'll use just a random. I'll just say a name like Bill. Okay. So if Bill's my teammate and Bill's like constantly 17th, 18th, right? And I say, hey, dude, here's what we're going to do this quali. I know I'm fast as fuck. I'll go run my lap down.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tow your ass.
That's
for the
Keaton,
fucking
and Speeds
Q1.
do that every time.
I know, and I'm going to tow you. I'm going to tow you for Q1, and we're going to get you into Q2.
Yeah.
Okay, no promises for what we're going to do there, but
Yeah.
we're going to get you out of 17th. We're going to put you in 15th to start,
Yep.
and we'll see what we can do from there. So, like, I think I don't. The time investment is something.
This is what. So this was my idea over the off season, and I'm telling you, like, I think this would be sick. I think it'd be very hard to pull off. You have to see how many people could realistically do it. But what my idea is either Monday or Tuesday, we run a full qualifying session.
Okay.
And that's our grid
So what, like
for
30
Wednesday.
minutes?
Yeah.
Maybe longer?
And what's sick about this is that you have a full day to where you know what position you are. You can think strategy. You can do whatever with it, okay? And then, obviously, there's going to be guys that are like, well, I can do Wednesdays. I can't do Tuesday night. Whoever would be left over. And the idea would be we'd only do this if there's like 4 guys left over that couldn't do it. I mean, if 10 guys can't do it, we're not going to do it.
Yeah.
But if there's like 4 guys left over that couldn't do it, they go in and put in time trial all week long. And at like 7:30 on Wednesday, we go into time trial. And out of those 4 guys left that couldn't do it, whatever order they're in time trial, that's what order they're in the last 4 of the grid.
Could do that.
And you save time because you have full quality, so that's separate.
Yeah.
But then when we go into the race, even if we're doing a full race, right at 8, the grid's set and we're
Yeah, that's
going
what I'm
into the
saying.
formation lap.
As I'm saying, like, we save time on the back end if we do that.
Dude, it's also insane when you think about in real life, they qualify Saturday. Imagine Sunday going out, doing a formation lap, and now you're fucking racing.
Yeah, because they run a couple practice laps beforehand. And
But
then
it's
they
like,
actually get
Jesus,
in.
dude.
Yeah. Richard says he was just thinking about the full quality would be nuts. I'm inclined to agree. I think it'd be super fun.
Especially how close we've all been, dude.
Yeah,
and
I
like
think
how
our
fun
biggest
it is.
I think our biggest apprehension to it was like, dude, just the bottom 5 guys are getting eliminated. They're gonna be pissed every week.
Yeah.
And then the next 5 are gonna be eliminated. They're gonna be pissed every week. And then
I
we have 10
definitely-
guys.
I
But it's
just-
so close now.
Well, not to mention...
Pull up the quality from last week, just to see how close we were. You're gonna want to. I think it's that one. Is that qualifying?
Yeah, probably.
So pull this up. So go to. Is there a second?
Oh!
That's okay. Yeah, he got there. Do
So...
Look how close that is.
The top 8 are within a half a second of each other. We don't get to over...
We need to do the other ones though. We need to look at the other ones because that one's sick. We always know the top 10ish is going to be crazy. But what I want
you're
to see
saying
is
like the next group.
yeah, like how impactful would it be for them? This is good. I'm glad we're drinking. So there's that right there. So yes, scroll and zoom in on that a little bit.
So
Holy shit! Look how close that is.
yeah.
Wow, I'm gonna here. Can you read those? So start it.
Yeah, I got you. So we are. Everybody is within a second of each other up until 11th place, and then from 0.4. So really, from 12th to 16th is all within a half of a second.
6/10, right? Yeah.
6/10 of each other.
All the way to
And then-
16th.
And then 17th to 18th are within
A little bit further back.
about a half of a
But
second.
but you
of each
can
other,
make up
though.
that time. Like
Yes.
you might be inclined to grind a little more if you know that you have a shot to get in the top 15.
And plus, we're talking about like if we went with this and you had 4 people not show up, that's massive.
That's what I'm saying. Damn, we just fucking put the new season together already on the
I
pod
wonder
right
how
now.
that would work if. I bet the same amount get through. So
15.
if we have 16 people show
One
up, one
person's
guy
out.
gets eliminated.
That's fine.
But then it's like, okay, so what? You were the slowest one at
you're 16th.
qualifying. You're 16th instead of 20th.
So what?
Yeah.
And then, like you said, if the 4 other people that can't make it do the time trial on the side, that's
You
fine.
know it'd be sick, and I don't want to jump into this so too early, and I'm getting a little ridiculous now. But we could do, if we did the F2 league Tuesday night, you'd
Yeah.
have F1 qualifying, and then it would finish right before the F2 league race would start. That would be fun,
That would
dude.
be kinda cool.
And then it would
Yeah.
keep a lot of F1 guys around to watch their race.
Damn. All right, we just solved qualifying for next season.
God, my nipples are hard,
Yeah.
dude.
Thinking about full quality makes me so moist.
Because
Yeah,
it's
that would
just
be-
sick,
that's
dude.
sick.
And imagine, like, snagging
Dude.
fucking 10th and knocking somebody
Right,
out in
and you just, get
Q2.
to talk, you just get to talk shit for a
Oh,
while too.
dude.
That's so
Yeah,
sick.
it would be awesome.
We'd
Mac,
have
you
to-
go get a fucking snack, dude.
Seriously.
We'll be in Q3.
Seriously, we'd have to do some rules for like when we couldn't talk. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
like
yeah,
still
yeah,
like
yeah.
in that break where there's the little bit in between, like that's all fucking no holds barred, dude. Like let it rip. Fuck it.
Fuck yeah.
And And there's crazy shit that might happen. Like maybe I fucking spin out like I did in Austria
Well,
a couple
and
years
if
ago.
you don't put in a very good lap in Q1, and all of a sudden you have George Russell starting fucking 18th in Hungary, where we finally had fucking slow corner turns that he could have performed.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's a home run. I don't know. We'd have to get some feedback from people and see time commitments, but
Yeah.
it's so much more fun. All right, enough of the one shot
I
quality.
don't even think we planned on really talking about that.
we did
No,
not all,
I
but
had no
it just
idea.
came up. It just came up. We shit on one shot quality. And now we're
Fuck
in
it,
full,
we'll do it live.
Now we're in full. Now we're in full
We're doing
quality.
full quality.
I'll do it
now.
live.
We really don't even have that much left, guys. Honestly, we've been live. Can you minimize that so I can see?
Yep.
I think it's only been like 40 minutes, to be honest with you. It's been 40 minutes exactly. 40
We're
minutes
just
and 30
getting
seconds. So yeah, we got another hour and a half left, guys. So thanks for sticking around with us. Really, the only thing we have left is predictions and then a little bit of the wrap up. So predictions. Anything crazy for Austria? You had a good one. You're about your teammate.
He's getting second again, and fuck it, dude. I'm beating Doug's ass. That's for sure.
Let's go.
I'm beating Doug's ass, Paulie's ass. I might even get top 5. I don't know.
Might even get top
five.
But
Holy
we're
shit.
talking-
Take his drink away.
Yeah, he's ripping him.
Williams is getting double points. We're back, baby.
He's
Double
like, I gotta go
points.
fucking
Double
practice.
Seriously, though, get out of the rig.
Yes. Can you take this week off? Just don't practice so I can get fit.
Oh man.
What about you? Got any good predictions there? Anything crazy?
Yeah, so I'm going to predict. So, okay, I want to actually talk about this. So, I was looking at the average finishes that we were talking about earlier, and one that kind of surprised me, average race finish.
Don't read mine.
We have, oh yeah, let me give you these ones. So these are guys that are just, I was very particular about the guys that were just outside 10th place. We were talking about there's a lot more guys than maybe we think that are on the edge of getting points. So Matt is at 11.2, and this is going to go over super well in the Discord. Tied with Matt, average race finish at 11.2 is Sexy Paulie himself.
Nicely done.
And then 11.25 is Real. Doug is at 11.8. And then you have Passy at 12.4. This is interesting to me. Hayden at 13.2. Brett at 13.5. So those are two guys that have actually been putting in and getting, like, Hayden's got 11th a couple times. Brett just took 13th, I believe, or 12th at Zandvort. These are guys that are really maybe more on the edge than what we give them credit for. So my prediction is I'm going to say Hayden and we can make this the parlay. Hayden and Jordan both get points this week.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm not betting on Jordan again after last week.
He's going
Drama.
broke. Okay. Predictions. I don't know if I really have anything. Like I don't know, man. I'm so sad when I look at that number. It just ruins my whole night when I see 11.2. Yeah, obviously, I had like the couple disconnects.
Go back to qualifying.
Dude, qualifying like a fucking run of rippers, dude. I think I'll qualify top 3 because I'm annoyed that I didn't win a race that I had a shot at winning, right? Yeah. Like that shit drives me fucking crazy.
That kills you.
I can't explain it to you guys. A lot of people are like, I'm just not going to show up and race anymore. But like me, I'm like, fuck that. I'm racing every fucking day.
It was weird because, like, I took 9th, and I was frustrated with it, definitely. But it was also, like, I knew that my best finish, especially after taking the wing damage and stuff like that, like, I knew best case scenario was, like, 6th or 5th or something like that.
I was projected for a podium. I'm not gonna podium.
I thought like 5th or 6th was like my best result. So to get 9th, I was like, it sucks, but it wasn't like the end of the world. Yeah. But it's like it's those ones where you're like, I could have fucking won that race. Like that's what Amanda doesn't care. Like if I have like an average finish, because she'll be like, well, did you still have fun? Like was it still a good race? And it was fun, whatever. But it's whenever I'm like,
I thought we were talking about something else.
I fucking could have had 2nd, and then it was like, but I DNF'd or whatever. Those are the ones that fucking kill you.
That's why I told Spees. I hung out with Spees for a little bit after the race, and I was like, dude, I'm just never gonna win a race. And he was like, dude, you have the pace. Like you're there. Like that's the thing is there's like 6 people that can win any race.
This is a good. I know we have it somewhere on there. I don't know when we were talking about it. I think this would be a good time to just kind of talk about this, especially this is what the newer guys need to hear. And this goes along, I think, with the cooldown room that you posted too, is the difference between learning how to get pace and learning how to perform in races in your racecraft. There's your pace and then your racecraft. And honestly, I think you were a really good example of this because you gain so much pace so fast that we got to see the racecraft like catch up to it almost. And it's one like especially like last year and like your first few races,
I was fast.
It was like you were fast immediately.
I did not know how to drive.
Like I remember literally telling people like Bamonte's crazy fast, but he's still learning how to drive.
Yeah.
And so like that's how it is with a lot of people. Like Jordan hit me up this week and he was practicing Zandvort and he's like, "Hey, I'm beating 75 AI by 10 fucking seconds now." And we ran with them against 75 AI. It was me, Passy, Jordan, and Matthew. And me and Matthew started near the back. I think Matthew took wing damage. Jordan started like fourth, and he did. He took off and fucking just won the race. He was out by himself. So I can understand from his perspective. He's like, "Fuck, I have the pace to be like eighth or whatever." And he kind of had an incident that he couldn't avoid really in the race. So that's why he went off. And it's like you can get fast, you can race with 90 AI, you can whatever. But it's learning the racecraft, learning how to race around people. That's where I think you have to match those two. It's a very big difference, and they have to come together. Yeah. Where I was like, I feel like have always been more racecraft and not enough pace.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. It's definitely an acquired skill. Like Painter and I had good. Thanks for the shout out, by the way, about the video. I'm glad everybody. It seemed like I got a lot of good responses. But Painter and I raced around each other a bunch last night. I raced a bunch around Tyler. I've raced around a lot of people this season, and I just feel more confident in my ability to like put the car where I want.
Yep.
Or like not to have like those freakouts, like when someone's next to you to be like, "Oh, I need to get way out of the way," or whatever it is. Like.
It's huge.
I feel like I've figured that part out now. So like once I get it together,
and there's always still going to be moments.
There's always stuff.
Like there's still times where you're right next to somebody in a hairpin and you're like fuck. Like,
I made a bad judgment call last night, right? Like I decided to go for a switchback because I knew I had a better exit, and I just knowing what I know in slow motion, like I'm 8 seconds ahead of Richard and whoever was behind him was not you, was it? Paulie?
Yeah,
Paulie,
probably.
No, I don't. Anyways, it doesn't really matter. But
you had the time.
I'm 8 seconds ahead of him. What the fuck am I doing?
Yeah,
just
take the time.
Like just like he can get by me.
There's almost
Tyler's it was. Thank you. So like I'm 8 seconds. I'm on a different fucking planet than those guys, right? Yep. And so just like let Keaton go, suck my pride up, get my 5th place finish, and like call it good.
It's very rare that I feel like I have an incident that I don't look back and go, I wish I would have just went a little bit fucking easier right there. You know what I mean? Something like that.
You want to defend your teammate here? So Painter says Richard is sketch as hell to drive around. You want to defend your teammate? No. Facts, I agree.
To be honest, though, I did get a little worried around Richard a little bit in the past. But
see, it is okay. So I took damage from Richard Wednesday because. I rode his tail a whole lap. I was right on top of him. And then there's just one turn where I just downshift but stay on the gas, and I think he just brakes to make the turn because I was too close, but I was right on him, and so I took wing damage whenever we went through that turn. But I don't he didn't take it crazy or anything. We just took it slightly different. But I mean, I ride his tail and I feel pretty good. Like I don't know. I feel like anybody that's in that, especially the guys that are in that top 6, 7, 8, I feel like I can ride right on their tail and feel pretty good.
Your braking points are the same for the most part. Yeah,
and I don't have a problem braking, especially if there's nobody behind me. I don't have a problem braking a little early and getting the apex just right and coming out of it. I feel like I can drive around people pretty well.
Painter's going to 1v1 Richard and COD, he says. Dude, that's good. You guys should certainly play a lot of COD. I heard there's a new update, and it's awesome.
Get on some Rocket League.
Yeah, if you guys play a lot of that this week, that'll be really good. I would certainly suggest. I hear it's awesome, so I would
stream it.
Totally don't listen to him, Richard. Whoop the ass real quick, but then get on F1.
Totally get on there. Totally get on there. All right, so we got... so we talked about driver safety already. The last thing we had was talking about F2 expansion we'll meet up on Monday.
Yeah, so Monday at 8 o'clock is our quote-unquote town hall. Everybody's invited. I mean, I don't care who you are, if you're in the Discord, get in there, especially the newer guys, because that's who this is for. What we're going to talk about is the idea of doing an F2 league along with our F1 league, what that would look like, everything that it encompasses. The idea is that we would recruit some newer guys that are new to the game, which is, again, we've talked about this before, that's what our league was built on. So we built this league from guys that were not F1 guys that wanted to get into it and bought the game to play in the league. And it's fun, like whenever you get those guys. And, yeah, it's fun whenever you get those guys and they can grow throughout the league. So then you take guys like Brett, Jordan, these guys that are near the bottom and just newer. It gives them a better place to learn.
Yeah.
So the idea would be essentially all the new guys, all the slowest guys, we want to at least get 15. We were just some tidbits because we were kind of talking about this earlier, so maybe you guys can bring some better information to the meeting. Is the idea right now, and this is very, very like scratched down on a notepad kind of thing, is F2 runs F2 cars. It's on like Tuesday instead of Wednesday, so they can run side by side with our league for a little bit. We would start it like with 4 or 5 weeks left in our league, and then it would run through the off season. The idea would be that the F2 league would get over before the F1 league would start. So then, like, if we do something where whoever wins F2 automatically goes to F1 or something like that, we can, again, we'll talk about that Monday and just different ideas. But that's kind of the idea: is a beginner league to feed into our F1 league, and most importantly, the bottom 5 to like 7 or whatever makes sense, those guys in our league can do both if they want to.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I think there's that.
And we would have commentary.
Right, like we do commentary. We've also done, I think you and I learned a lot when we were teammates of like spotting for each other.
Yes.
So like when you have someone like experienced, like that's watching, like dude, I can't tell you. You guys, actually I can tell you, you guys just watched my stream. And I do a lot of like that talking like out loud, like because you sat in the Discord with me for fucking 2 seasons, right, of 20 races. Yeah. So I'm constantly like relaying information. That way it like can stick in my mind, right? Like, okay, like this dude just went in for tires on lap 18. So I'm remembering stuff. When you're doing all that stuff by yourself, I can tell you firsthand, it's a fucking lot.
Yeah. I use Hayden just as somebody so I can say shit out loud
and it's
too.
And it's a lot, like and like having that team dynamic is huge. So like for the guys that are going to race, maybe we pair them up with spotters.
Well,
and
like I would say too,
race engineers.
I would say this. I mean, this goes for F2, but truthfully, I think this goes for. There's a lot of people that would be down to do this. Is all I'll say is that if you are a newer guy and you either have clips from your race or your whole fucking race recorded, and you want to...
Dude, I will stream that shit.
Dude, bring it over, and I will tell you, like, here are my notes. At this point, this point, these are the things you... Here, dude, you dump battery for no reason because you're going to pit 2 laps later. Yeah. That's when you need to be putting in a hot lap. Like, I really think about a lot of that stuff when I'm racing.
Yeah.
And so I would be glad to do that because that was always something for me. And Paulie talked about this a little bit this offseason. And as soon as he said something, I was like, dude, that's exactly how I felt. Is we were talking about, like, I wish I could have somebody stand over my shoulder and be like, dude, you're slamming the brake way too hard. Or you're really fucking overturning that. Don't turn the wheels so much. Just glide into it. Like, everybody kind of needs some of that. And so I think if you're an F2 guy or even in the F1 league, like if Jordan sent me his whole race and was like, hey, what am I not seeing here?
Right.
That's when we can sit there and gladly, and we don't know everything, but we can gladly sit there and be like, hey, dude, something I learned is like when you're the lap, and this is a true thing, the lap you're pitting on, that's when to dump your fucking battery because that needs to be your fastest lap of the race. Like that, like just little things like that I think could really help people.
I can't imagine, and I just brought this up, if I had a spotter in my ear, a race engineer, it says, the person behind you is like 4/10 faster per lap right now, and that's Keaton.
Yep.
And then there's an 8-second gap to the person behind them. I'd be like, well, fuck, this is an easy choice.
Well, and think about even right there, it's something where, again, and we talked about this earlier, if I'm engineering your race right there, if he's flying up on you, I'm telling you, hey, he's going to get us on DRS right here. That's fine. Stay on his ass for this whole lap. Let's get him on DRS. Let's save battery. Yeah. Let's save battery. Stay close enough to him to get DRS, and then we'll dump the battery on the straight and see if we can get away from him on DRS on the next lap. And that's shit that, like, again, you just have to talk it out and even know what you're looking for.
For sure. Well, good shit. What else we got? Anything else? Anything else? damn, we did pretty good.
Yeah.
55 minutes of drinking and driving and
Yeah, I thought
barely
that was good.
making it. I'm gonna maybe walk out of here. I don't know.
Yeah,
Dude,
I think
it's all good.
is there any big topics, I guess, right now just in the league? I guess the biggest thing I think circulating right now is the overall safety, knowing how to get back on
The
track.
stewards thing, make sure you guys go read that, what Keaton posted, please.
Yes, he put in a ton of effort to post this huge thing, really breaking down. So I feel like a lot of times we don't reiterate stuff that we have already learned in the past, and so maybe we
'Cause
leave
we
out,
know it.
Yes,
Yeah.
so we leave out information that the new guys should see. We've talked about this several times this season, where it's like some of the new guys maybe don't even fully understand what's illegal as opposed to an illegal overtake and things like that.
I guarantee you, there's people that have raced in our league for 2-3 seasons that went and watched my short quali and were like, oh, this makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, oh, all these thoughts that he just spewed to me for free make sense now. I should be doing stuff like this. I should look at this. Which is awesome.
Yeah, we want them to have because, again, just like we said, you don't want anything to be cheap. Like, if I take 7th or 8th every fucking race, but it's just because everybody is on their shit and that's
sweet.
the best I can do,
Love
sick,
it.
dude.
Love
I'm
it.
in.
Yeah, love
that's so fun. So yeah, overall safety, go read the stuff that Keaton put out there. If you have questions, let us know. I saw Jordan said something the other day about like, hey, if it's me that's causing issues, just tell me because I want to learn.
Yeah.
That's music to our
That's what you
ears.
need.
Like those are the guys that make the league fun. That's what makes it cool. Like those are the guys you need.
Yeah, shout out to Jordan. Jordan's like an ideal teammate.
Yes.
Is what it feels like to me,
Yes.
right? Like,
And Tyler's fucking wasting it. Let's call a spade a spade. The guy hasn't been on in 5 fucking.
He
I
said
didn't
that.
say
David
anything.
said
he
that, right?
can't dive bomb me
That's a
from here.
former
There's
teammate.
no way he can dive bomb me from here.
David said that, not us, not me and Real. But Real and I talked about it before we split. Actually, like, if we're gonna split, like, are there ideal teammates for us? Like, am I gonna be pissed because I have a teammate that I'm not like in tune with? Right? Like we talked about it a lot because a lot went into like the separation and all that. I mean, that's just part of it, right? You gotta have someone who's willing to like be a sponge. Or want to learn shit, and so shout out to Jordan's attitude, big fan of that.
Yep,
that's awesome.
And I think
Austin messaged me.
Austin's been awesome.
Shot me an awesome. I
Yeah.
shared it with you guys. Austin sent me a message. Sorry if I shared our DM, Austin, but I thought it was worthwhile to share with these guys because you messaged me after watching the VOD.
Yep.
Austin's been in the chat for a week and a half.
Yeah. He even said he wasn't going to race this year, was just going to do F2 and then hopped in because the open spot. Yep.
Yeah, so like takes the time out to watch the VOD not only for an hour.
Yeah.
That he didn't have to do, and then messages me afterwards with like some feedback and some questions and like that's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
like
awesome.
don't think that I'm not taking mental notes. Anyone who's probably I'm gonna have a vacancy, obviously.
Yep.
You guys may or may not, right? I'm gonna have a vacancy on Ferrari. Or wherever I decide to go, Williams, if we trade. So
hashtag drama.
Yeah, I will have
like the red.
I'll have a vacancy. It's pretty sick. I have a vacancy on my team, so like I'm scouting everybody at all times.
Yeah.
And it's not just pure pace. It's willingness to like get better and be out there and like hit me up. Like, how do I get better?
Because I mean, here's and I'll quickly so we can wrap this up.
Yeah.
But we were talking earlier about Matthew and I at the start of the year were practicing together quite a bit, and that's what yielded me having good results is because I had somebody to practice with and push me and bullshit with and bounce ideas off of. And so it's like even somebody like again, Jordan for instance might be like, dude, David doesn't want me as a teammate. He's fast. He wants to weigh fast. No, dude, Jordan wants to practice. So when he hits me up and he's like, hey, you want to hop on and get some laps? That's going to be what gets me to do fucking laps.
Sure.
And then helping him helps me and,
Cool. All right, what else, guys? Nothing? Dude, I love you guys.
Yeah,
this was fun. This was a fucking
awesome.
blast. Yeah.
Monday, town hall.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we'll do it again. Yeah, it's really cool. Maybe we'll try and incorporate cameras in the future. I don't know.
Oh, you want to do? Let's end it with quick some kind of prediction for Real F1 because we have Real F1 starting next week.
Oh yeah, we'll do another podcast by then. But
fucking fantasy league if you're not already in
please
it.
do.
It's free and it's sick. It's not like fantasy football. It's literally a stock market.
You have essentially till Wednesday or Thursday.
All right. You
Yes.
talked me into it.
It's
I'll
sick.
boy.
It's sick. It's cool. Get in there,
I'll
watch
do
the
it
videos.
tomorrow.
It's very different from like what you're thinking.
Yeah, you sign
fantasy
contracts.
racing.
It's kind of like our Dynasty League. You just sign contracts to
You
guys.
sign
Sign
contracts, and then like when their contract's up, if they perform better than expected, you make the money off them. It's literally stock market with F1 drivers.
All right,
So you want to do
Yeah, some kind
Just
of... Go
ahead.
Let's do Bahrain.
Remove Red Bull.
Yeah.
We have to do that, right?
So Max Verstappen will win Bahrain.
Yeah, we have to remove...
Who's the next 5 after Max at Bahrain?
Oh my god.
Top 5.
This is fucking
Max,
crazy.
We all pick Max first. Who else?
You want to know something funny real quick? Just if you guys want to make some actual money, DraftKings does this thing where it's like winner besides Red Bull a lot of times.
Yeah.
Right? And I won like infinite fucking dollars on Williams and Alex Albon last year because it's like winner minus Ferrari minus Red Bull minus Mercedes minus McLaren, right? And it's like who's the winner of quali with that?
Yeah.
So if you find some shit, I'm gonna always post.
Yeah.
I always post my bets because I want everybody fucking getting some cash up, right?
Yep.
So there's stuff like that. So we'll do minus Red Bull. So no. Are we removing Sergio Perez?
No, Perez can. I mean, he's a normie. So Max takes first. Who's your
I got a
top
question.
5 outside of
Would
Max?
Sergio Perez win a race in our league?
Yeah, I
don't know.
think you'd win by a few miles.
Dude, speeds is pretty quick though.
I don't think he's catching him. So, all right, cool. So 2 through 6. Who's it going to be? Let's see. I mean, I have to pick Leclerc. I feel like I feel like the Ferraris look good, and Leclerc's fast.
I'm gonna get out of hand with mine.
He's gotten fucked at Bahrain several times. If you guys are familiar, unfortunately, I'm familiar with Ferrari history.
Yep.
Engine explodes, fucking all kinds of crazy shit. So I'll pick Charles Leclerc, Lando Norris.
So Lando's 3. Lando on the podium. I love that. Broken trophy incoming.
Fernando Alonso, George Russell, and Daniel Ricciardo.
Nobody touch me. I'm gonna explode.
Like that shit. Like that. I think that's it for me.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
Sketchy.
I'm gonna go. So Max takes first.
Yeah, obviously. Who's the real firsts?
I'm gonna get out of hand right off the bat.
He's not gonna say Alex Albon.
I'm gonna say no.
Logan Sargent.
I'm gonna say Oscar Piastri second.
Oh my god. There's no way. Anyways,
I'm gonna take Lando Norris third.
Okay. Yeah. So you got both McLarens on the podium? Holy shit. Red Bull's in trouble.
I'm gonna go Sergio.
Oh yeah, I forgot he exists. My bad.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
dude.
So what? That's 3. McLaren, Sergio.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna do both Ferrari, and just for my fucking boy Hayden, I'm gonna go Carlos Sainz, then Charles Leclerc.
Get the fuck out of here.
The better driver.
Fucking insane. Next.
Alright.
Get the fuck out of my house.
Do not make honey.
Get the fuck out of my house.
Do not make honey. There's no other way around it.
I'll take Sergio to come in second. I'll take Leclerc in third.
That's probably smart.
Yeah.
And then I'll
Fucking
take...
asshole. He's wearing a vest. Of course he knows.
Yeah, I'll take Lando in fourth.
Yep.
Are we doing top
His
5 or
number.
top 6?
One more. He's like, you won all 20.
I'll take Lewis in fifth.
I kind of was thinking
good,
about
yeah.
Lewis too.
Yeah, Lewis looked pretty good. So.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
That was fun.
Good. All right, guys. Well, I'm sure we'll change our picks in... Actually, we won't have time because we'll run the race Thursday. Qualifying is... So,
Friday.
guys, so you know, qualifying is at Friday at 10 a.m., I believe.
Yep.
Not that I've looked this up like 35 times.
Yep.
Qualifying is at 10 a.m. on Friday, and the race is at 9 a.m. on
Yep.
Saturday.
And Jeddah will be Saturday as well.
Yes, Jeddah's on Saturday, March 2nd, I believe that is. So I have an event in the Discord on set for Saturday at whatever time, 9 a.m. I think it's 8:45. I'm going to make sure that, because I don't know if F1 TV will broadcast to this, but I'm going to try, because sometimes they black it out.
Worst case scenario, we always, for the new guys, we always get in the race discussion. We create a thread, so then it's all the spoilers are kind of hidden, and you can go, we'll tag you obviously, but you can go in there and we all just talk shit during the whole race.
It's full spoilers in the thread.
Yes.
There's
in
no
the thread,
spoilers outside of the thread.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. Do not post anything about the race outside of the thread. We will tag you and we'll let you know.
Yeah. So there's that. I'll try and share the race. So, if anyone is like, dude, I really just want to come hang out. Come hang out.
Yeah.
I'm got nothing going on. We might even figure something out to do on Saturday. I don't know.
We're definitely gonna hang. My only problem is that Amanda really likes waking up and just watching the race, like just me and her hanging out. But there are I definitely want to come up and watch some races up here and get together. Because watching Vegas, all of us together was a blast.
It's like a dozen of us at my house.
That was
fucking
so
awesome.
fun.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, sweet. Well, we're gonna wrap it up. Thanks, guys, for taking the time to hang out on the podcast tonight. I know the format was a little bit different than usual, but that was pretty fun, I thought. So,
That's fun.
Yeah.
so we're going to wrap it up. We'll see you guys, I guess, Wednesday, huh?
Yep.
Or Monday. Actually, we'll see you Monday for the
Monday
town hall.
for the
So-
town hall.
So hop into that, all right?
F2.
Sweet. So hop in the town hall, and we'll see you guys on the next one. So you click both blue buttons.